On Market Swings, we look for the moments when everything changes. The inflection points, the days that divide before from after. December 18th was one of those days. Imagine running a business with 300 employees, 8 locations, millions in revenue, completely legal in your state. And every quarter, you load cash into a bag and drive to a government office because no bank will touch you. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because the tax code says you are.
We walked down to the IRS office in Denver to pay estimated taxes with cash. And I write down, it was like around $2.3 million in estimated taxes. The IRS didn't have like a standard operating procedure on processing cash, right? No cash counters, no nothing. And they turn us away.
That's Mitch Britten. He runs Thrive Cannabis, the largest independently owned cannabis company in Nevada.
Because of how widespread cannabis is throughout the entire country, it's given rise to like a pretty prolific black market.
And for him, this isn't about stock prices. It's about whether the rules finally let him run his business like every other American business.
I'm Josh Baylin, and welcome back to Market Swings. I'm here with my friend Mitch Britten, CEO of Thrive Cannabis. We're here at Southern Highlands in Las Vegas, Nevada. Little two-man scramble. Let's go. Let's play. Get left. That's what we call a breakfast ball. There we go.
There it is.
Nice.
Great shot. Way to go.
There you go. Good contact, at least. We got one.
We got one.
Tell me a little bit about Thrive. How'd you get into the business? When did it start?
We started Thrive in roughly 2014. We had a delegation from Nevada come out to Colorado on a fact-finding mission as part of the legislature. Nevada kind of just came super organically out of the Colorado operations, and it's been like a huge success ever since. So the governor, our prior governor, was wanting to put together kind of an advisory commission that would help, wrangle the industry, the complex issues that are associated with it, and get the regulators and the board that is responsible for regulating to understand.
And how many folks are on that commission?
There are 6 appointed positions within that board. And so it's a pretty diverse board. Depending on what the appointment is, it's either, you're being appointed to really bring and highlight the challenges on the cultivation side, the independent lab.
Right. You got some people in every element of the business. I see.
And it by all kind of measures, it's been pretty successful. They take what the advisory commission has to say and really does implement it. So
it's been a good process for you.
Been a fun post, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the most interesting one that I got most interesting item that I got tasked with was the descheduling or rescheduling of cannabis, which took place about 2.5 years ago. And the report did kind of influence how the state of Nevada is going to approach regulation as these federal changes are kind of expected, and now they're rolling out. So we'll see kind of when rubber meets the road.
By the end of the round, you're going to understand what actually changed on December 18th and why it matters. Not just stock tips, not hype, just the reality of an industry most people understand, told by somebody who's been in it for more than a decade. This is what a market swing looks like from the inside.
Got a good bounce.
Yeah.
So how big is the cannabis market overall in Nevada?
It's an interesting question because one of the things that everybody combats with is the illicit market, right? Because of how widespread cannabis is throughout the entire country, it's given rise to like a pretty prolific black market or illicit market. In the heyday, we were talking about, round about $1 billion in Nevada.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mitch, let's start one off.
Do it. We need to start with a birdie.
We do. It's your home course, so I'm letting you clean up my mess.
All right, let's do it.
Nope, didn't give it enough. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Outside your mark.
All right. Well,
All right. Well,
we'll start off with our par.
Start with a par.
Yeah. There we go.
before 82, they didn't distinguish between like legal and illegal businesses. It was just whether revenue existed, right? Come 82, they said, hey, we can't have these cartels, these drug enterprises writing off, private jet travel, boats, all these things.
So it's like we saw Scarface, and we can't let that happen.
And we're going to stop it.
Right.
In 1982, Congress looked at drug cartels writing off private jets and yachts and said, not anymore. They passed Section 280E, and for over 40 years, that law has applied to every cannabis business in America, legal or not. Mitch has been paying for it ever since. For most people, December 18th, 2025 was just another Wednesday. For Mitch, it was the moment he'd been waiting a decade for. Not because of what it does to stock prices, but because what it does to his business.
All right, we at least got to look at it.
That should be good for a birdie.
When the president reclassified cannabis back in December, what are the tax implications of that?
It's pretty huge, right? I mean, you think about the way we operate as a business. If you want to strip it down for people that understand business, anything that is directly attributed to COGS are
cost of goods sold.
Yep, are deductions that we can take. Things like that most other businesses take, SG&A expense, things like that, that is completely off the table. So you're talking, marketing is an add back, labor is an add back, occupancy expenses is an add back. So it's like the ramifications are humongous. If you're an independent operator and you don't have this ability to kind of, I don't want to say fudge, but you're able to really kind of move and justify costs in a vertically integrated company towards COGS.
Right. Whereas if you're a single license holder, right, like where if you just run retail or if you just run cultivation, you would have a harder time running different things through different components.
Doesn't pass the
right. It doesn't pass. Right?
And so you've got those guys that are being subjected to potentially 70% corporate tax rates.
70% tax rates.
Yeah.
70.
Yeah. I can tell you, 20 examples of people that started in the regulated market that went back to the illicit market because one, there's no ramifications from a enforcement standpoint, and two, they're making money.
Right.
Go, baby. Oh! That way to clean that one up. Saw the line. Thank you. We are currently in Nevada the largest of the independently owned companies, right? No MSO involvement. All our partners that we started with are still our partners today. Great relationships. And we kind of run through kind of the whole gamut all together, right? See if the strong grip can do something, huh? God, I'm hitting.
Where did that go? Where is it?
Meet Philip Peckman, Mitch's business partner at Thrive and fellow avid golfer. Though today, he's mainly here to heckle us for sport.
So you want me to just launch this thing then?
Yeah, just like the right side of those green stakes.
Did that get in the air?
It definitely got in the air. Oh, that's gonna be fine. Keep going. Turn. Yep, beauty.
All right, I think we're
Great
good.
Shot. Yeah, baby. I like it.
For those folks who don't know, there are 5 classes, right? 5 levels of drugs. Schedule 1 would be, let's say, the most illicit,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
So you're talking heroin, LSD.
Yep.
We'll mention-
Ironically, marijuana.
Ironically, marijuana, but like Schedule 2, interestingly, cocaine, fentanyl,
Yep.
where obviously there's been a lot of movement. And then 3, what is it, anabolic steroids?
Yep, you've got
certain
anabolic
codeines.
steroids, yep, benzos, things
Right.
like that. It's almost like this hypocrisy of marijuana, right? Where you start getting to a point where you are like almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you can't go like crack down on something that is so egregious and then have that be a lesser classification. Like
Well, that's what I mean. So you see, so it's like, So in a way, and again, it's most likely the Schedule 2 or the schedule reclassification was already in the works as they're doing the fentanyl stuff. But when you see the fentanyl stuff, all of a sudden it makes sense.
It does.
Right?
It makes a ton of sense.
It makes sense.
The Trump administration is aggressively targeting fentanyl, a Schedule 2 drug. Meanwhile, cannabis sits in Schedule 1, right next to heroin. That contradiction made rescheduling almost inevitable. And on December 18th, 2025, it happened.
Hang on. I'm confused. You weren't trying to go at the green?
No, I was trying to put one out safe.
Okay, so we're good.
Now
So,
we're good,
so,
I would
so
go
you
for
want?
it. At least like the left edge of that bunker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. See what happens when your partner frees you up?
And kept it out of the sand.
Wow.
Let's go.
We
Come
like
on,
that
up and
one.
down for bird. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we like that.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I didn't realize there was a ridge there.
Uh-oh.
All right, Mitch, get it tighter. Sorry about that.
See if we can do something here.
I like the speed on that. Go. Kick out. All right, we got options.
We got options. Oh, there it is.
So Trump signs this executive order,
Yep.
right? Where were you? What was going through your mind? What was happening?
We kind of had a idea, right, based on all the legwork that we were doing with,
From like a lobbying perspective?
yeah, between lobbyists, like we call government affairs.
Government
people
affairs.
now.
I'm sorry, you can cut lobbyists. Government affairs.
So we had a lot of that kind of baked in already, right? Where you get to this point where you have a little bit of knowledge, at least a little leeway, knowing what was going to happen. And that was the culmination of 3-4 years worth of work. And so as we got to kind of the beginning of December, we knew something was going to happen. We just didn't know exactly when. Probably, honestly, the most influential thing that's happened in our space in the last 20 years.
Right, it's the biggest change that you've seen, right? Apart from legalization.
Sure.
This reclassification probably changes more from a business perspective
Than anything else.
than anything, yeah.
But to be quite honest, the victory is his to own.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I'm concerned. And I think the industry in general. Yeah. That'll work. Let the big dog eat. Woo! That's an interesting place to be on this hole, too. Ooh, snappy.
Well, you saw it. That was the right speed.
All right, Mitch, knock this one. Turn.
Yeah, baby. Gotta like that one. 3 in a row.
3 in a row. We're on the train.
We're on the train.
We're on the train. It's interesting. I go on Robinhood and I look at all the cannabis stocks.
Sure.
And by the way, they've all moved. It
Right.
doesn't. It doesn't mean that you won't find the picks and shovels or your preferred player, whatever. And I'm not asking to make a stock pick per se, but what was fascinating is that they've all moved.
Yep.
Retail's buying these things.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that are not going to benefit from 280, from like a schedule change, right? There are a lot of companies that either play it wrong, they play it short, they play it long, whatever. The people that are really getting it right are the ones that you want to double down.
But I want to be clear. It's where you will actually see margin expansion as a consequence of the change in 280E that you should see things rip as compared to just a general industry. Which, by the way, a general industry play may work.
Right.
But the leverage happens when the margin actually gets unlocked. Ah!
Okay, we got 2 over there. That's fine. It's fine. It's a little harder to
It's a
birdie.
nice 7-wood, but I just kind of yanked it a little bit. That's it. Good shot. That's a good shot. Nope.
Okay. Well, we're dancing. People that are looking at what cannabis means and, you know, kind of what the ancillary products are, they're looking at its core, it's indoor agriculture, right?
So it's all the things that go
It's-
into
it's
that.
all the things.
So in a way, it's kind of similar to like a data center.
It's no different.
You probably have cooling. You
Yep.
probably have a variety of, you know, systems. Go, stretch.
Yeah.
It's right
Yeah.
at the hole.
Yeah, it's right
It
at the
snaps.
Go, baby. Ah.
All right. Par it is. Oh, I don't even need to hit.
See, once in a while, I get my 220-yard 7-iron out, and it works out for me.
Get left. Get left.
It's not going left. Right number.
All right, let's see if I can save the team here.
Ooh.
Golf shot.
Joshy.
Golf shot.
Yeah, baby. You got a golfer.
Every once in a while.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
just a little 5-footer. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
I want you to put this in,
Okay.
and this will be, you know, penance for walking in and walking out with $2.3 million. Hey!
Boom.
Put that putter away.
Put it away. You don't even need to finish.
I don't even need it.
Way to go.
Get through it.
Get through it. It did.
It did.
Oh my God, that was the ugliest shot of the day.
Yeah, but you know what? That's like position A, right?
We call that a Mitch missile.
Oh boy. That looked good to me.
It'll work. There's a lot of golf terms we could call that one. Not sure if they're safe for camera.
Maybe chill out a little bit.
Yeah, we're having fun. Talking about weed.
No, so bad. Well, I'm glad we have you.
Well, we've got one to skip through.
That's why we have a.
It's fun.
That's why we're playing a scramble.
That's why we're playing a scramble with a 13 handicap.
Good Lord.
Ooh. Like it.
Thank you.
Love that. Way to rescue your partner.
So much of like what we've talked about so far has been the immediate effects, right? We're only a month out of that, not even a month out of that executive order.
Well, not to mention the fact that that executive order is all fine and good on its face, but there's a lot of regulatory stuff that has to happen in the background. Right?
So let's forget about the impacts of that specifically. Zoom out.
Right.
5 years. Where are things?
In my mind, things get back to a like traditional kind of transactional space, right? Where EBITDA margins are, in multiples more specifically, are like influencing transactional, process.
I want to maybe rephrase this and say it a little differently. in 5 years, this looks more like a normal business.
I always used to say that like the things that are difficult in like traditional business were easy for us, and the things that were difficult were, you know, I mean, it's just like, it's this weird paradigm that you find yourself in where, yes, like market, all of these things are really hard in a traditional sense. They were easy for us, but the things that were easy for other businesses are hard.
Right.
And so I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of those things become reality.
That was a nice shot.
That was a great shot.
Thank you.
So we took 2 of your shots now. So I better make this and redeem.
Well, you hit the last putt, and so we're relying on your putting.
Yeah,
here.
let's hope. All right, ready, Joshy?
I got you. Drain it. Oh, I love it. I love it.
How about that?
I love it.
At least I could contribute at
Hey.
some point.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Nope. All right, we got a putt. Come on, 3 in a row. Oh! Oh, that was so good.
Ayo! Way to go.
All right, all tied.
That's a fun.
Go. There you go.
That's Barky. Yeah, 223 flag, 213 covers the ship. Ooh. Wow, go baby.
There we go. Good swing. That was like your best swing of the day, in all honesty. 29 is in reach.
We can do it.
It's within reach. We just got to get up and down for birdie, and then we got 29. Oh boy, can we hit a wedge? That's going to be good.
It's good-ish. All right,
All right, let's take yours.
we'll take mine.
I love that putt if it has speed.
Again, too low.
Well, we couldn't break it.
That was fun. We tied it.
Thanks, man.
How fun.
That was great.
And it's always
BD.
Hard, it's always harder talking business.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
Good job. Yep. Good seeing you.
Thanks for everything.
So what do we learn today? What we learned is that Mitch Britten, who's been operating a totally legal cannabis business for the last 10 years, couldn't pay his taxes, right? Here's a guy who's just trying to, pay his taxes, thinks it's an honor to pay his taxes, and when he walks into the IRS with $2.3 million of cash, they don't have a way to count it, so they send him away. And what we look for here on Market Swings are market swings. And that happened on December 18th, 2025, when the Trump administration signed an executive order changing the classification of cannabis from a Schedule I narcotic to a Schedule III, right? It became ridiculous that cannabis was actually worse than fentanyl, which the administration was clamping down on pretty darn bad. And so here we are, the swing has happened. This isn't specific stock advice, but for those looking, look at the companies who are going to benefit by looking at margin expansion on 280E related companies. So thanks again to Southern Highlands. Thanks to Mitch Britten. Let's see you again on Market Swings.